Shalom, everyone. Joshua here, and welcome to the first episode of Gub'ment Misinformation. This one comes to us from the Virginia Department of Health. And oh boy, some fear-mongering nonsense up in here, peeps. Let me tell you, some fear-mongering. Let's just start with the image. They chose some kind of aggressive-looking image when really the bat's just sitting there hanging on a cave wall or something, and the cameraman's just really close to its face, and it's kind of like, can you just leave me alone, human? Just leave me alone. So, yeah, all right, let's start with the image. The image is, it's just so bad, so bad. Come on, Virginia Department of Health. That's such garbage. All right, let's get into the caption here. Bats can transmit rabies to people and animals. If you or your pet have come into contact with a bat, it should be safely collected and submitted for rabies testing. Well, okay. Even a broken clock is correct twice a day. So, can bats transmit rabies to people and animals? Yes, this is actually a fact. They can. However, a bat that just happens to brush across your skin is not going to transmit rabies. And they are being, they're just not being very truthful in this, peeps. And it's sad. If you or your pet have come into contact with a bat, it should be safely collected and submitted for rabies testing. Wrong answer. That is the wrong answer. Number one, you have a higher likelihood, literally, you are 99% more likely to be sprayed by a skunk or your pet sprayed by a skunk in your lifetime than you will ever have the opportunity of coming in contact with a bat. Unless you're going into caves specifically looking for bats, or, I don't know, you're a wildlife control agent like myself and part of your duty is to go into attics to hunt them things, you are not going to come in contact with a bat. You're just not. You're not. So this is straight up fear-mongering, peeps. Okay, and number two, secondly, should every single bat be submitted for rabies testing? No. We already have an overloaded department for testing of animals. It's already inundated with test cases because every little person that moves out to the country from the city is so scared of every little single thing that they got to send it in to be tested because everything has a disease. It's fear-mongering. What do y'all not get? It's fear-mongering. No, bats don't all need to be tested for rabies. Thirdly, we are so fortunate in the state of Virginia that, 90% of our bat population is probably the healthiest of populations across the United States. We have a thriving bat population, as 70% of my employment in the wildlife management industry is bat related. We have a very healthy population here of bats in the state of Virginia. So stop buying into this Department of Health fear-mongering. It's garbage. And it's sad that they chose to use an image like that. Bats are some of the most beneficial little critters that we have. Yeah, I call them flying meeskies. They're flying meeskies, whatever. But they are extremely beneficial to the ecosystems and the habitats. So don't buy into every single little whim these little antichrists throw out there. These people don't fear God. They fear what can happen to themselves in the flesh, peeps. They're more worried about what can happen to them in the flesh than they are about what can happen to them in hell. So there you go. More government misinformation right here. No, a bat, if it has rabies, will exhibit signs and you will be able to distinguish them. At which point, yes, it is wise to call a licensed wildlife control agent, a reputable one, hopefully, and have them come and take care of the situation. you know? Yes, I think in my 10 years, being in this industry and dealing, like I said, 70% of my work is bat related. Literally, one bat is gone to the Department of Health to be tested for rabies. One in 10 years. And guess what? It didn't have rabies. It had something else. So there you go. Stop buying into the fear mongering. These government misinformation, and trust me, this actually started because there's something else on their page I am going to go over in an undoctrinate video down the road. You know it's coming. But for now, I stumbled across this. I just want to let y'all know. Bats are great for the environment. If you're in the state of Virginia, don't freak out because guess what? You're probably 99.9% chance you're just never going to come in contact with a bat. So this is like the most baloney post ever, man. Oh, and it's not even spelled OSCAR. Anyway, come out of the world, peeps. Turn your hearts, minds, and souls over to Yeshua so you can see straight through this antichrist garbage. It's just fear-mongering. Don't fear what man can do to you. Fear what can be done to you in hell.